channel 127, Wednesday, September 9th. We are 55 days away from the most important election of our lives. Just 55. And every day on my show, I say, stay angry. Because that's the emotion that keeps people engaged in an election that's been a long slog. And every single day, Donald Trump gives us a reason to organically stay angry. And today we learned that courtesy of Bob Woodward from the Washington Post, who has audio tapes of Donald Trump on February 7th telling him, Bob Woodward, that he understood how deadly this virus was. He literally talked about the virus being 5 times more deadly than the flu, because they're saying it's a 5% mortality rate. This is unreal, and he lied. Donald Trump lied to the American people. And I can't tell you how much anger I have, because I lost 3 people I knew. One was a childhood friend. And if you think about it in the big picture, over 190,000 families are mourning the loss of a loved one. And how many would be alive if Donald Trump just told the truth? But he covered up COVID. He covered up COVID. So you had him on February 7th, Bob Woodward, point blank, saying the virus, quote, is more deadly than even your strenuous flus, he said. And went on to say the flu has a mortality rate of less than 1%. This has a 5% mortality rate, and 5 times the flu, saying this is deadly stuff. February 7th. What did he do 3 days later? February 10th, goes on TV, tells the American public, the virus goes away in April with the heat. No, nothing goes away with April with the heat. This was a deadly virus that he understood. He even used words like it's complex. He got it. He lied. February 27th, just 3 weeks later, he talked about this virus, COVID, which he knew February 7th saying was 5 times more deadly than the regular flu. He told the American public at a press conference, this was just like the flu. He said literally, and I'll play it on my show, just react like the flu, because that's all it is. Just the next day, it's the day when he infamously called the COVID-19 the Democrats' new hoax. And what were Democrats doing that got Donald Trump upset? They were saying, Trump, you're not taking this seriously. This is a deadly threat. It is now bearing down on the United States of America. But Trump, no. He wanted to mislead America. He wanted to mislead his base. The next day was the first American fatality. Now we have over 190,000 deaths. And the list goes on and on. March 4th, Donald Trump was on Fox News with Sean Hannity. And Sean Hannity was saying to him that the mortality rate, according to the World Health Organization for COVID, is 3.4%. Trump had just told weeks before to Bob Woodward it was around 5%. What did Trump say? No. I'd say the number is way under 1%. Again, trying to equate this with the flu. And now Trump is saying today that he didn't tell the American people because he didn't want us to panic. He was concerned about us. He didn't want us to panic. This is absolute bullshit. This would be like a weather forecaster going, I didn't tell everyone about the hurricane because I didn't want you to panic. And yeah, I know thousands died and numerous businesses were destroyed and homes were destroyed. I was just doing you a favor. How would you react to a weather forecaster saying that? Well, I didn't tell you the details of the tornado coming because I didn't want you to panic. Well, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump didn't tell us for a very simple reason. In his own inner calculations, he decided covering up COVID helped him politically. And the obvious reason being, if people didn't think this was as bad as it was going to be, which as bad as he understood it would be, there'd be no chance to have to shut down the economy. Because he was running a 2020 re-election on just the economy. And to make it even more clear how the panic argument is just absolute bullshit, Donald Trump tries to get people to panic every day. Talk about Antifa, about Black Lives Matter, they're thugs, low-income people are coming to the suburbs. Everything Trump does is about panic, fear, scare you. Because again, it's the same common thread. Donald Trump's calculations are, this is what benefits Trump. Everything Trump says, tweets, and does is for one person only, Donald J. Trump. That's all he cares about. And if he was worrying about Americans not panicking in February and March, then why did he continue to lie to the American people over and over and over through last night about this virus and what's going on? I mean, on July 4th of July, looks in the camera, tells the American people 99% of the cases of COVID are totally harmless. Over 100,000 Americans were dead. Well, what panic are we talking about? We had closed down or we're reopening. No, there was no need for that. That was because Trump wanted to rush the reopening to help them economically. August 11th, he says that the virus, that children are almost totally immune. His exact word, totally immune to the virus. Why he wanted schools to reopen? Because he thought it helps him politically. What did we learn just today from the American Academy of Pediatrics? 500,000 U.S. children have now contracted COVID-19. As they write, there's been a 16% increase in the last 2 weeks. Schools are open. They said now we have 513,000 cases of COVID on U.S. soil, and 103 children are dead. Totally immune? 500,000 kids have this. Not totally immune. Most will live. Over 103 are dead. To those families, it's the worst nightmare of their lives. Their child is dead. Hundreds and hundreds more will have complications from COVID, including an inflammatory syndrome that's erupting from this. And they don't fully understand, but kids get it. But Trump lied there too. Where was the panic? There was no panic. Let the lies continue. On Friday, Donald Trump mocked Joe Biden for wearing a mask at his rally, saying that, did you ever see a man that likes masks as much as him, about Joe Biden, and telling the crowd there that Joe Biden needs psychiatric help because he wears a mask so much. Panic? No. He doesn't want people to wear masks because he believes if there's not even a hint of COVID, all of the economy, everyone's back to work. Unemployment's down to where it was pre-COVID, and he can win re-election. Just yesterday, he was in North Carolina, literally yesterday, telling the crowd the only reason the governors, the Democrats, closed things down there was to hurt him politically. Not to save lives, because everything to Trump is about him. Even when Democratic mayors and governors are trying to save lives of our fellow Americans, Trump doesn't care. Joe Biden utterly destroyed Donald Trump today in a remarkable takedown. First, on the health, making it clear that he said Trump knew how deadly the virus was. He lied. He goes, he failed to do his job on purpose. He goes, it was a life and death betrayal on the American people. So, even if you love Trump, how can you ever trust him again? He lied about a virus. He admits he lied about the virus. How would you trust him about the next virus? Or the next thing involving national security? He might lie again. Doesn't want to panic people. Who knows? But for the rest of us back on planet Earth, Donald Trump intentionally misled the American people, and people have died. No dispute. I wrote last month, actually in July, late July, an article for the Daily Beast, why I believe Donald Trump should be charged with manslaughter, and that was then. Now we have the smoking gun. Donald Trump knew the risks. Donald Trump intentionally lied. We have that on a tape. There's no disputing it. People have died as a result. There's no doubt. Experts have put that together and they've quantified that. Donald Trump has committed the crime of manslaughter. When Donald Trump loses on November 3rd, was escorted from the White House, in addition to financial crimes, Donald Trump should be charged with manslaughter for the countless lives that he has resulted and misled to their peril, to their death. That's how I view it. Because if you don't charge Trump with a crime, you're greenlighting every future president to lie to the American people about a deadly threat and be able to get away with it. Well, those days are over. We cannot allow that ever to happen. So I'll talk about this a lot more detail on my show tonight on Sirius XM channel 127 on Progress Channel, it's called. And again, if you don't subscribe to Sirius XM, check out the website. There's always free offers. Tune in, be a part of the conversation. I'd love to hear from you. Stay angry. We have to win this election. This election's not about policy, folks. It's about life and death. That's what we're dealing with right now. Thanks for tuning in.